Peace be with you, brothers and sisters. I'm so happy. I'm the member of this church. I grew up in this church. When I joined this church, my daughter was taller. Now she's taller than me. I'm very thankful. Thank Pastor Chung and brothers and sisters give me this chance. Let me to share. It's just after Christmas. Is that Christmas just over? What does Thanksgiving mean to you? Some may say it's a very special holiday. Remind me and let me think, what should I be thankful in my life? Some just think, oh, just a holiday. Finally, it's a vacation. I can take a rest. That's a good. And some may say, hey, both, relax and enjoy family gathering. And also a good opportunity to reflect, what should I be thankful? So for you, what do you think on that? Our Lord remind us to be thankful. Oh, I have to put on and off my reading glasses. Depends on what I do. When I drive, I will wear different glasses. Gratitude is one of God's purpose for people in Jesus Christ. In Thessalonica, 1 Thessalonians 5, 16 to 18, let me read it. Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. Give thanks in all circumstances. If we do see something really unpleasant, should be thankful to. So in English, it says, give thanks in all circumstances. Why? In the book of Jeremiah 29, Jesus, God taught to us, for I know that the plan I gave you, the plan to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you a future and a hope. So whenever we see the positive sign, we see God in it. 1,000 years ago, we are proud of science. Science has covered many areas, including our health. It's very advanced. There are many benefits being thankful. It helps us to understand why we should be thankful. The benefit of gratitude. Study shows that you will be healthier physically. The stress-related disease will be reduced by 10%. If you have a high blood pressure, you will have a 12% lower on your blood pressure. Our body will be better, will be stronger, fitter. Positive emotions increase life expectancy by 7 years. So gratitude is a part of a positive emotions. It's so wonderful. Why God, that's the reason why God wants us to be thankful in all circumstances. So we'll have a better mental health, increased happiness, joy, and life satisfaction. Uh, Sometimes we may feel burnout, but if you have a grateful heart, you are less prone to fatigue and reduce materialism. A person with a grateful heart will not put materialized things as his top priority. So when we are sick or facing physical challenges, and you will have a better sleep, reduce fatigue, lower level of a cellular inflammation. There are so many benefits. When you have challenges and the after trauma, you will have a less chance to be depressed. You have a more resilience. There are any other benefit too. So be thankful. It's easy to process other virtues. You'll be more patient. You will be humble and wiser. And in the social benefit, you will benefit people around you. You will be more generous, kind, and helpful, enhancing relationship and improving interpersonal atmosphere. Have you ever experienced anything? If you uh, keep hearing complaints, what do you feel? What do you want to be? Do you want to be a person complain all the time? Or you want to be positive and then to be a problem solver? A British author, G.K. Chesterton, he said, I would maintain that thanks are the highest form of thought. Every day, we have 6,000 ideas in our brain. It's just like a flowing water. How many in our brain? 6,000. So we may think of something happened in the past. But Chesterton said, being thankful are the highest form of thought. So what's your what's your choice? To choose the highest form of thought? So where does gratitude manifest? How do we apply? So if toward people, we need to express. Chinese are introvert tendency. When we feel internally, we do need to externally express it and act upon. We are still in the holiday season. So who you have expressed your gratitude, take all opportunities to do that toward God. How do we thank God? So probably it's the same. Internally, we felt it. We externally express it and then act upon. There's another one. Just like the act, the verse we have read. Our life is all from God. It's not just a thought in our mind. It's just the surface. It's the gratitude is not just on the surface. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. For whoever would draw near to God must believe that he exists and he rewards those who seek him. So we can tell faith is pleasing to God. So now faith, hope, and the love abide. Those three, but the greatest of this is love. But without faith, how do you love? The love might be some charity work. But without faith, do you have a hope? Especially we are living in a world full of turbulence. You believe God and then will change your attitude toward life. Faith is a foundation. With a faith, we have a hope. With faith, we have a true love. So we have a faith in God. We believe he is here. He is there. He exists. When you facing challenges, when you feel like God is far from you, and at that time, you still need to believe God is there. We believe in his promise. We believe his teaching. We obey his word. If an unbeliever is really not be able to obey. So we are branches and Jesus is the vine. So belief is the fundamental for a believer. So when people ask Jesus how to do God's work, and Jesus told them, believe in him is doing God's work. So belief is the first step. Here, we need to introduce Dr. Frank Lobath. He's a missionary. He graduated from Ivy League. He's the elite of the society. He's the only missionary on a U.S. postage stamp. At the very beginning, he went to Philippines to be a missionary. His work years and years and didn't have any fruit. He feels so frustrated. And a few of his kids died in Philippines too. He was so sad. When one day he was weeping and he feel his his work and his family, it just make him feel so sad. But at that moment, God talked to him. God told him that when you are preaching, you have the superior emotions of being a white. From that moment, he changed his attitude. So at that, from his older way of converting this to be Christian, convert that, and later on, he transferred his mind, and he started a game. The game name is A Game with Minutes. So in every minute, so he needed 1 second to return to God. After he did that, miracle happens. The stones become alive, and dead become alive, and wood become alive. And the people start to respond to him. After the response, and his evangelical ministry increase multiple fold and become an example for other evangelical organizations. Let me share one of his favorite saying. Oh Lord, what is the best gift we can give to humanity? It is to cultivate a beautiful soul and then open it up to share with others. So he worked his whole life to be a missionary. So faith really led us to live out the true love. How to embody gratitude as a faith. Let me introduce the expert. That's Abraham. Abraham, he's just a human being, same as like us. It's human. What is an ordinary person? It's a man or woman with death as the ultimate limit. We all eat greens and vegetables, and some have talents, some have virtues, and we cry, we love. And very possible, some recognize themselves as a self-considered extraordinary. But Abraham is an ordinary people. At the age of 75, God let him leave his tribe to move to a foreign land. He has the courage to listen to God and to work right out. So that's reflect to us. You have a courage too, because you came to United States from a foreign country. Abraham also had the business acumen. He developed his household, and so you have a unique skills too. And Abraham, he cared for his relatives. He prioritized the well-being of his nephew and gave him the fertile land. And later, he even started a war to save his nephew. You also care for your families. Abraham lived in the country, the nations full of turbulence. And Abraham trained his household man to protect his family. You do that too. You protect your family in your own way. Abraham had a passionate heart. He prayed to God for the city of Sodom. He decreased the number and with the hope for God to not punish. But did you pray for others? Did you pray for brothers and sisters? You do have a compassion as well. Abraham had a moment of cowardice. His beautiful wife attracted a lot of attention, and he left her to the kings. He didn't protect his wife, but he turned out like his wife to protect his life. It seems like he has his up and downs. He has his moment of heroism and also moment of weakness. Abraham is an ordinary people, just like each one of us. We have our moment of competence and also have our weakness. Behind our sternness, we do have a helplessness. How did Abraham build up his confidence and his faith? We also, each family, we have a fence. And Abraham is expert of building the fence. Many years ago, and late when I woke up in the morning, I saw my neighbor's yard because my fence is all collapsed. When I go there, I realize that, oh, the fence has the structure has a post and also board. The posts go deep in the ground and hold up the whole fence. And then the posts are spaced in intervals so that the board will be connected between the posts so that the fence will stand, not fall. If something wrong with the post, the fence will fall. So that's reflect for our faith. Abraham is expert on building the fence of faith. So what are his posts? His posts are the altars he built, the trees he planted, and the name the places he gave names for. How did he build the posts? In your life, what experience to make you experience being with God to build your posts? So when Abraham heard God told him he will be the fathers of nations, and he built altar for that. That's one of his posts. When he moving to north, when he moving to south, and during the migration process, he built up altar solemnly. When he went to Egypt because of a famine, and the Pharaoh had attention on his wife, but God intervened and then protect his family and his So in that moment, probably he realized how weak his faith was, but during the process, it's built up his faith. When he was uh, in the lows of his life, he returned to the place he built the altar and then reconnect with God. Later on, to settle, to keep peace with his nephew's family, and he built another altar. He keep going. There's another king, Abimelech king, and has attention on his wife. And Abraham did again, leaving his wife to the king. But God intervened again and protect him, and also protect his wife. So every time he was thankful, he built an altar. So that's the pose he built. So when God asked him to sacrifice his son, and Abraham didn't hesitate, just walk 3 days to the dedicated location God want him to go. His son asked him, "Where is a sacrifice lamb?" And he told his son, "God will provide." That's another journey of faith. Yes, we all know that God provided a lamp. And Abraham named that place as the Lord will provide. So we can tell he built up so many posts. Keep your heart. Every work come from the heart. The fence is the protection. It's protect what can come in and what should be stay away out. When we build the fence of our faith and give us a faith, so that's how Abraham built up his fence. In our life, we also have important life events. For example, wedding. So whenever you feel the gratitude, you are thankful to God. How do you build it up based on that to be a post of your faith offense? Please think about that and put that in your meditation. Meditation. So whenever Abraham saw his post, and then his gratitude to God will appear again. The post is deep and strong. We need to return to really build up the strong post. Jesus set a strong post for us. What's that? That's a Holy Communion. Is to commemorate him. Why we do that? Is to remind us we are the children he loved. He loved, he even sacrificed his own life. When we remember him and we know how great Jesus sacrificed for us, so that we as the branches can connect to the vine. So that all the life of will trickle down from root all the way from one to branches to us. Abraham is good at building posts, and a fence need a board too. What are the board of Abraham? Every time he practiced at gratitude, thanksgiving, that's how he built up the board one by one. At the age of 75, God told him to leave. He left right away without any hesitation. His faith and his deed are strongly connected. And when God led him to circumcise his household, he did right away. And when he rescued his nephew Lot, and he fight with 4 nations. After that, and he got he was afraid of a retaliation probably, but the God immediately appeared to him and saying, "Do not be afraid, Abram. I'm your shield, your exceeding great reward." God count him as a righteousness. When you read the story of Abraham, do you have a confused on one of the story? His servant Hagar and her son Ishmael. Abraham sent Hagar and Ishmael out and only gave him a bread and the skin of water. When I read it, I feel shocked. Hey, he started, and then that's his servant and his son's mother. He's kind of like I didn't feel good about him when I read that story. But if you read carefully about the story, Abraham did worry about for Hagar and Ishmael. And God talked to him and tell him that Ishmael will have a great nation too. So that gave him assurance that he can let it go. So there's another story when Isaac was about to get married, Abraham insists to find a wife for him in his own tribe. So from the life of Abraham, he moved to a foreign land at the age of 75 and died 175. So in his 100 years, in the foreign land. It's a long time. Abraham turned the months and the years given by God into the board for building the fence of faith. So his faith was manifested and perfected through his action. That's reflect to us how our life will going like a flow of water, or we build each day like a board to build a fence of faith. As a Christian, the blessing of being a Christian has a very high baseline, because in him we live and move and our whole being. If we don't take our daily life as granted, how many things do we have to be thankful? What we can see, we can hear, we can breathe. Oh, we have a food in our fridge. We should all count it as a blessing. So don't take each day as granted. We have a countless blessing. Let's read about the story of Habakkuk. That's the book of Habakkuk. He said, though the fig tree may not blossom, or no fruit be on the vines, though the labor of all olive may fail, and failed yield no food, and the flock may be cut off, no herd in stalls, but I will rejoice in the Lord. I will joy in the God of my salvation. So do you rejoice in your hard time? Rely on God. David said, the Lord is my portion and my cup. When we are in challenging times, so let us exercise, practice in our brain to be thankful, to thank God. The Lord is our portion and our cup. This bottom line, this baseline is pretty high. So let's all think about it. How do you want to be benefit from the being thankful? So the first question we should think, how do we build the pulse of our life to make sure to determine the stability of our faith? So when we meet any challenges, should we all think about why we believe in God, why we believe God? The second question, how do you in the daily life turn each day into the board for the fence? Thank you. Thank you, everyone.